of the fun things that has been a part of my life is I'm also a minister, and for quite a few blocks of time, not the whole time, but for quite a few blocks of time, preached regularly. And it was intriguing to me to discover the interaction between farming and preaching. That I would tell people, and it was a quite serious observation, though it wasn't heard that way, but the biggest theological issue I had every year was when I turned on an irrigation well for the first time in spring. Because turning on the irrigation well is an issue of stewardship and care of the land, but it also related directly to my opportunity to keep people employed, to maximize my production system in a financial way, as well as consider stewardship and management of water resources, as well as keeping people employed in our community, keeping the population of our community up. And that is a theological issue. And so for me, there's an intense connection between issues of agriculture and issues of ethics, issues of theology and faith, issues of stewardship, nature and nurture. That for me has been part of the intellectual pleasure of agriculture. And it's certainly very different than driving a tractor, but it gives you a lot of time to think about it. One of the pressures that's on American agriculture in these days, and that's making it change really fast, is the access to and the use of very sophisticated chemicals. And I have always been reluctant to see that as a singular cultivation system. I think chemicals are a tool that's in our toolbox that can be used for specific reasons and specific purposes and for identified problem solving, but it shouldn't be a system of production that relies wholly and singularly on chemical application and grain production. And I think that our production systems work a lot better when we stay in touch with our natural systems as well. And so we are not organic, but we also are not 100% chemical, but there are times when we use chemical to solve specific problems. But I think we have a whole new realm of problems coming up because of the singular use of chemicals on many, many acres of agriculture. The chemical systems are constantly creating their own new problems that need to be resolved by new chemical solutions, and that seems to be inherently contradictory to a good agricultural system. So I resist that direction, but I don't deny the fact that there's a place on occasion to use chemicals to maximize production and to maximize the opportunity to stay sustainable as an agricultural system. And by sustainable, I don't mean that in the environmental sense, I mean that in the economic sense. That in a large commercial, big volume production system, you are not financially sustainable in an organic construct. I don't know anybody in western Kansas who is just organic. One can feel good about farming when you feel connected with the earth and with the environmental systems, with nature, and when you succeed at making that happen. Chemical companies cannot guarantee that I will not have a thunderstorm and be hailed out. But when I buy their chemically coordinated program, where I buy their seed and buy their chemical, they will guarantee me a crop on a contract. It makes absolutely no sense. And disconnects me from the world in which I'm really trying to produce, which is a world of the earth and the soil and nature's vagaries